this is Staley Campbell, site coordinator for Charles England Elementary. She's nominated Danesha Edwards, and her lunch buddy is Janiyah Badger. Okay, so we're gonna talk to Staley first. How long have Danesha and Janiyah been together?
What, 2 years? 3 years.
I started to say.
She was a mentor for you before I was the coordinator.
So you're a 5th grader?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Almost going to middle school. That's awesome. Okay. So what did Danesha do that made her pop in your mind to be the person this year?
I see her all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't think a week has gone by that I haven't seen her come in and get Janiyah and take her out of here, and they just go hang out and do stuff. And every time they come back in, Janiyah's always got this big old smile on her face, so I could tell she had a good time.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, Janiyah, what is it, just one thing that you can think of that makes you just really like Miss Danesha?
Well, she makes me smile a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, is she funny?
And she's got the face.
Yeah. How does she encourage you?
Like, sometimes when I have problems, I can talk to her, and she be on my side.
And she's on your side? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How does she help you with school?
She said that she was going to take me, like, sometimes when she come get me, she's going to take me somewhere, and is where you can sit down and you can talk to your lunch buddy and help them.
Oh, okay. So sometimes she talks with you about your schoolwork and stuff. Mm-hmm. Cool. And that's another reason why I like her so much, because she is so interested in you and making sure that you become the best woman you can be.
Yep.
Including fixing your hair before she leaves the school a while ago, right?
She treats you like you're her daughter, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. That's what I...
Because when we were in Wendy's, I had my hair loose and she put it back up.
She's taking care of you. I know it.
And you know what? When Miss Danesha comes and she does an article for the Dispatch, I always ask her how you are, and she just lights up when she talks about you. So tell me how you feel when you know it's the day that she's coming. Like this morning, how did you feel knowing that she was coming to get you for lunch?
Surprised and excited.
Did you know she was coming, or did she just show up at your door smiling?
She just showed up at the door. Well, she told me she comes on Thursday, but sometimes she comes on Fridays or Wednesdays.
Okay.
But she like surprises me, because sometimes I be working and then she be right there just looking at
me. Do you like that? Do you like that all of a sudden she's there?
Mm-hmm. Because one day we was in art, and she said she wasn't come today, but she really came. Because I like this the whole time. And then when I look back, it was her right there.
And then what'd you do?
Well, I kind of got a little hyper. Because when I seen her, the teacher told us to calm down, and I was just jumping around and all that stuff. Yay! And then everybody else started jumping around, so it went all off track.
But then you got to leave.
Well, let me ask you this last thing. If either one of you had anything you wanted to say about Danesha and the good job she does, what would it be? Any last thoughts for these folks that are watching this video?
I just wish there were more like her.
Oh yeah, me too.
She is absolutely wonderful.
I think she's pretty.
She is pretty.
And she's a good mom.
She's good to you.
Yeah, she's nice. And
I think I appreciate that more than anything, how much she loves you.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing, y'all both good. Like this, y'all both good moms.
Stacy Thompson. She is our site coordinator for Southwest Elementary, and she has nominated Matt Swift, and his lunch buddy's name is Corey. Corey, how old are you?
10. My birthday was yesterday.
Was it? Well, happy birthday. Belated.
Thank you.
Did you have a good day?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And what grade are you in?
Third.
That's a good grade. Okay, so Stacy, how long have Matt and Corey been together?
I don't know if it's been a whole school year.
Since last year, middle school year.
Middle of last year.
Oh, okay. So over a year then. All right. And what did this mentor do to inspire you to want to nominate him?
He does a lot for Corey, his family. You know, he and his wife, they go on vacation together. They have birthday parties for him. They just include him in everything they do as a family.
That's awesome. Well, Corey, tell me what, if you had to say one thing that you just really love about Matt, what would it be?
That he helped me when I needed it. And like when I be bad at school, he come talk to me.
He does. Well, do you meet him in the cafeteria, or does he come to your class?
Well, when we do specials, he comes to me, then we go eat lunch.
And what do you do? What do you feel like when you see him standing at the door waiting on you?
Happy.
Is there anything you want to tell us? Like you said, Miss Thompson said that y'all do things together. You want to tell me some of those things? Tell me about something you've done lately with him.
Well, we went to the beach, and well, he
What was Sunday?
had me a party, and we went to my favorite place to eat,
Which is
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
But sometimes we go to Uptown Grill.
I like that place too. Well, if you could think of one thing that he's taught you, it doesn't have to be math or anything like that. It can be anything. What's something? It doesn't have to be one thing either. What's something he's taught you since you've been together?
He taught me to be respectful.
That's good. Very good. Anything else? I bet he has. You just can't think of it.
What else has he taught you about outside of school? What has he taught you about outside of school?
What do you mean?
I'm just trying to think of what else he's taught you. What does he want you to do, or
He want to get every number off.
and your grades have gone up this year?
Very good. And what do you do when you're with him? Do you act crazy or do you act really respectful and kind?
Both.
Oh. Okay, that's a good honest answer. Well, is there anything else that either one of you want to say about Matt or about why he should win?
He thinks that you're their brother.
No. They think I'm his son.
Maddie, his little girl, thinks that Corey's your brother. She loves him.
That's sweet. Well, thank you for being in our program, okay? We're glad that you've got Matt to be a lifelong friend, okay? And thank you for all you do for us. I can't say enough how much we appreciate it. Okay, this is Pat Ellison. She's the site coordinator at Lexington Middle School, and she has nominated Dexter Garner, and his mentee is Matthew. And first of all, how long have Dexter and Matthew been together, for either one of you?
Dexter and Matthew
Since
have been
4th
together.
or 5th grade.
Wow, that's awesome. What school did you go to?
Okay.
Charles England. I kept choosing him over again because I liked him.
So, Pat, what did Dexter do to inspire you to want to nominate him?
Dexter has so much patience with Matthew, and from the time that I knew Dexter and the relationship that he had with Matthew, he has really inspired Matthew to become more self-confident. He's built up a self-esteem, and I've seen him really grow under Dexter's mentorship. He's grown up to be such a independent young man, and he's so outgoing now. wherein before he was so shy. And one of the things that I've noticed about him that Dexter always has taken him to Big Toy Day. I think it may have been the last Big Toy Day that they went to, and Matthew has come on board as a junior volunteer with the fire department.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been so committed to that assignment, and he just stands out as a young student here at Lexington Middle School.
That's awesome. What grade are you in now, Matthew?
8th grade.
8th grade. So if you could think of one thing that you really, that stands out about your relationship with Dexter, what would it be? Just how he makes you feel.
Happy.
And y'all go out to eat normally?
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all do when you go out to eat? What do you talk
We'll
about?
See how each other was doing and stuff, and what we've been up to and stuff.
Because he works a lot, so you
Mhm.
have to catch up with him, don't you? And where are you volunteering at the fire department?
South Lexington Volunteer Fire Department.
So on the days that you know that Dexter's going to come and take you to lunch, how do you feel? Does it make you feel a certain way?
Yeah, it gets me happy to get out of school for a little while.
And if you've been coming to Big Toy Day, I'm sure Dexter put you to work.
Mm-hmm. I would help out with him. I would go look at the stuff for a little bit, then go help him out with stuff, whatever he needed. Like, we would get there early and set up Big Toy Day with everybody else.
Well, I was there somewhere, and I appreciate you helping, because we need all the help we can get with that. So are you looking forward to high school?
Yeah,
You think you and Dexter will be able to continue your friendship?
yeah.
Good. Good. Lifelong friend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is there anything else that y'all want to say about Dexter or about being together or anything like that?
Dexter is such a supportive mentor. Usually when we have events that involve the mentor and the student, Dexter is always here, and I really appreciate that. He keeps me informed if there's something he's concerned about, of his grades or what have you. Dexter always make time to talk with me about that and see when we can get together, especially progress reports and that kind of thing.
All right. Well, thank
Is there
you.
anything else you want to say about Dexter? Do you call Dexter sometimes? Do you have his phone numbers?
Yeah, I call him when I'm out of the state every summer because I go to see my dad. And I call him once every week so I can check up on him and stuff like that.
You check up on him because you need to keep up with him, don't you?
And that's good that you have that relationship even during the summer,
Yeah.
When school is out.
Well, thank you for being in
Okay.
the program, okay, and for doing all you do. And Pat, thank you for all you do.
Oh, you're welcome.
For all we
You're
can't
welcome.
thank you enough, believe me. All right. Okay, this is Gina Spencer, principal of Pickett Elementary, and she has nominated Liz Shive, and her lunch buddy's name is Ada. Say that right? Okay. Tell me what grade you're in.
First grade.
First grade. That's awesome. Okay, first of all, do you know how long that Liz and Ada have been together?
I think they've been together since kindergarten.
I thought so too, because you were with South Lexington with her, weren't you? Okay. And I know there's things you want to talk about her. What does she do, or what has she done that has inspired you to want to nominate her?
Just their relationship together, and the fact that she knows her so well, and she picks up on Ada, and that the fact that she came to me one day early on in the year and felt that Ada wasn't really happy where she was in her classroom, and just the fact that she can sense, she has a sense about her, and we made a move to another classroom, and that made a difference, didn't it? She wasn't happy, and so we moved her to a different classroom, and it made such a difference. But I think for me, for a mentor to know a child that well, and to just have a sense about them that they care that much and they know that much about a child, means a lot. I mean, it takes something for a mentor to be that involved with a child and to get to know them that well. So that tells me that Miss Liz has really gotten to know her and spent a lot of time with her, talking to her, and just really understands her and understands her needs, and that she's willing to take that extra step and to come to me and say, this child needs something more. And that meant something to me. It told me something about Miss Liz that just makes her special.
She is special.
She
I
is,
agree.
yeah.
Okay, Ada, I have a question. What if you could tell me one thing that you just love about Miss Liz? What would it be?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Did she buy you ice cream? What does she do that is something that you just really enjoy? Is it going to get ice cream? Having her? No, what is it?
Cupcakes and ice cream.
Do what?
Ice cream and like chicken nuggets. Like sometimes we go over there.
So taking you out sometimes?
What, can you tell me something that Miss Liz has taught you? It doesn't have to be something for school. It can be like manners or anything like that.
What are some of the things y'all talk about?
Saying nice stuff.
Saying nice stuff. Yeah.
Saying nice stuff. Very good. When Miss Liz comes to get you to go out to lunch, does she meet you at your class, or does she pick you up in the office? What does she do?
Picks me in class and goes to the office and says something.
And when you see her standing at your classroom door, what do you think? How's that make you feel?
Happy.
Happy. What other kind of things do y'all do? Do you do stuff other than go out to lunch?
Take tests sometimes.
Take tests.
She works with her in the classroom.
Very good.
Also don't hear from
Down here, she reads with her.
You think you read better now? You're a better reader?
Green dot.
Green
And
dot.
orange dot too.
Oh, she's moved up. Yeah, Miss Liz usually stays longer than her time too. She spends not only the time that she spends taking her to lunch, but she stays over the time and works with her academically. So, yeah, doesn't she?
I'm glad you've got Miss Liz, and I hope that she can be a winner, but she's already a winner for your school. And you and Miss Spencer can decide when you want to give her your certificate, okay?
I do want it now.
You do? Oh, well, y'all can talk about it. And is there anything else you want to say about
I
her?
think she's definitely, made a difference in this child's life, in that she's helping her now understand how important it is to do her homework and to do better in school, and the time that she spent with her has certainly been invaluable.
And I've heard Miss Liz talk about you, because I know Miss Liz, and she's crazy about you.
Yeah, she certainly is.
She is.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think you're crazy about Miss Liz too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting us have our program in here.
You're certainly welcome.
We do
couldn't do it
appreciate
without
it.
you.
Appreciate everything you do. All right. You all done? All right. Okay, so it's Lena.
Yes.
Lena Steffen here at Briar Creek Elementary. She is our site coordinator, and she has nominated Brenda Hip, and her lunch buddy is Savannah, who is a kindergartner, right? Are you 5?
No, I'm 6.
You're 6.
In about a month, I'll be 7.
What's your birthday?
What?
What's your birthday?
Where's my birthday?
What is the date? of your birthday?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, it's coming up though, right? It's
Right.
coming up soon. Well, that's exciting because I love having a birthday. So first we're going to ask, and Savannah, you might know this too, but first we're going to ask how long they've been together.
Well, they've started the year together this year. So Savannah and Miss Hip have been together all year. But Miss Hip has been a lunch buddy of ours for 5 years now.
Yeah.
So she's been with us for a long time, so we're very grateful.
Yeah.
Very grateful to have her.
And when Miss Hip comes to visit you, Savannah, does she come to your classroom or does she come to the cafeteria?
Cafeteria.
And what do you think when you see her standing there waiting on you?
I feel happy.
You do. I know you do.
But sometimes she does come to my room sometimes.
So whether she comes to your room or she comes to the cafeteria, you feel happy when you see her. And besides having lunch together, what else do you two do together?
We either go to the gym, the
Library?
library, and the computer lab, and then the classroom to play in home center.
Home center. What do you do in the home center?
We just dress up as people and play a game called Mom and Dad.
That would be my favorite center too. If you could think of one thing that Miss Hip has taught you this year, what do you think that would be?
She taught me how to be good.
What did she do to teach you to be good?
She taught me what to not do and what to do.
So I can see your pretty face. Thank you. She taught you what to do and what not to do. Well, that's just wonderful. Is there anything else you want to say about Miss Hip? Please tell me.
She always brings gifts for me.
What kind of gifts?
Drawing gifts, bouncy balls, and Barbie movie theater stuff,
Oh my
toys
goodness. Toys.
with a camera and everything. But the camera works. You can watch movies in the camera while you're on the road or.
Wow. I have not heard of that. That is very cool. So, is there anything else either one of you want to say? Go ahead. You get the cuteness factor.
She always comes and gets me in the hall also.
And so you feel like that having Miss Hip as a lunch buddy has been very helpful. You do. Well, it sounds like it. It sounds like she's a really nice lady. And so thank you, Savannah, for being in our program, okay? And thank you for doing all you
How
do.
did you know I was in a program?
Because I'm the one that does the program,
Silly goose.
and Miss Stefan does it. She helps me a lot, a whole
I was
lot.
a Black Widow spider.
Oh, yes, you're talking about the music program we just had.
Yes.
The chorus concert. But what Miss Jamie was saying was that you're in this program to have a lunch buddy.
Yeah.
So, and we're very grateful for Miss Hip because, like I said, she's been with us for 5 years. If she's ever going to miss a day, she makes sure to call ahead and always reschedules. She
Was a bathtub
is
right
comfortable walking throughout the school. She tries to encourage reading and puts reading into the games to encourage the academic piece too. So not only is she a friend to Savannah, but certainly an academic assistant as well.
Wow.
So we're just very grateful for her.
That's awesome. And thank you for all
Yes.
you do for us.
Absolutely.
For nothing.
Well, and thank
we
you.
appreciate it. We appreciate it so much. Savannah, come and tell these folks bye. Will you come and wave bye on the camera? Tell them bye.
Say thank you for letting Miss Hip come.
Thank you for letting Miss Hip come.
Something here. This is Michelle Shove. She's our site coordinator for Churchland Elementary. She's nominated Elizabeth Thompson, and her lunch buddy's name is Alexis. And so we're going to talk just a second about Alexis and Elizabeth. How long have Alexis and Miss Elizabeth been together?
Have you been just this school year, or was it last school year? Just this school year? Okay. I was thinking maybe the end of last school year, but I think just this school year.
Okay. Well, it's almost over, so it's been a whole
That's
year.
right. It's been almost a year.
And what grade are you in?
Second.
Second. It's a good yay. Good grade. What did Elizabeth do to inspire you to want to nominate her?
Well, she comes every week and she never misses coming to see Alexis. And if Alexis is absent, she tries to make it up on a different day when she can't see her. And she does some special things with her when she comes to visit, doesn't she? Yeah. Every time that she comes to visit, they do special little, because I'm jealous of the things they're always in here doing, because she meets in this room with her sometimes after they eat lunch. And so she's just always there for her. And so she's always like always checking on her and worried about her, whether she's absent and things like that. And so she just really cares about her. And so I felt she was the one that deserved it the most.
Good. What do you want to tell me? What some of the special things y'all do are?
We play games. We'll paint. We'll color and do whatever.
Tell her about what she brought at Valentine's Day.
She brought candy and we made treats for everyone in my class.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I want her to be my lunch buddy.
She is into doing the stamping stuff and so scrapbooking. And so did you make cards for everybody in your class? They make cards for everybody in her classroom. And pretty much any holiday that it is, she brings her stamp kit and they make stamp stuff. Like
Aw.
Christmas cards and stuff like that. So
She
it's always
sounds-
really neat.
She
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So when she comes to see you for lunch, does she come to your classroom or does she come to the cafeteria?
Classroom to pick me up.
And then do you eat in the cafeteria?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think when you see her standing at the door waiting on you?
I feel happy.
Uh-huh. Is there anything else you want to say? Okay. You did good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
And thank you for being in our program. And thank you for, can't
No
say
problem.
enough for all you do.
No problem.
Okay.
I just think Elizabeth is very deserving because she really cares. Like, she knows her mom. Like, I don't know if her mom was friends, but her sister knows her mom. But anyway, she's just really caring and cares about what happens to her. And like I said, she's always there to check on her and make sure she's doing okay. And you know, she, like I said, she doesn't miss her time with her. Like, she's just as excited about getting to come eat with her as she is Elizabeth coming to eat. They're both just as excited about getting together. So. Because she ate on Tuesday this week, I think, and she normally comes on Thursday, but she couldn't. So, like, next week she's subbing on Tuesday, so she knows that she will come on Thursday. So yeah, so she's always there for her, and so it's kind of been exciting watching it. So,
Yeah. Well, that's all we can ask. That sounds like an awesome lunch buddy.
yeah.
And it's hard not to know people when it's a little tiny
Right,
church
right.
one. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, thank
right.
you, ladies.
All right, thanks.
Okay, this is Michael Faust. He is the principal at Denton Elementary, and he's sitting in for Darren Laughlin, who is our site coordinator. He has nominated Andy Morris for Mentor of the Year for Denton, and his lunch buddy is Dylan. And Dylan, do you know how long you and Mr. Morris have been together? How long have y'all been having lunch together?
From second grade to fourth grade.
And you're in fourth grade now?
Yeah.
How old are you?
10 years old.
Awesome. Okay. And I know that Mr. Laughlin nominated him, but you said you knew Mr. Morris. What has he done that inspired y'all to nominate him?
Well, other than being one of our substitute teachers, Mr. Morris is also an elected official here in our town, but he has volunteered his time not only with communities and schools, but helping us with other resources through different organizations, including his church, to encourage other people in the community to donate funds for our backpack program. He's working now on encouraging other folks to participate as mentors, because our mentor pool has shrunk a little bit over the last few years, and so he's approaching for those individuals on our behalf. He again just donates his time. He's worked for the past over 2 years with Dylan, and not only within the school setting but outside too, and they've done lots of different things. together and have had lots of different experiences. I'm sure that Dylan could tell you more about.
Dylan, when Mr. Morris comes to have lunch with you, does he come to the cafeteria or come to your classroom?
First, he comes to the cafeteria, and then I go wash my hands, and then we go to the cafeteria and eat lunch.
Okay. And when he comes to your classroom and you see him standing at the door, what do you think?
I think, yay!
Yay.
He's here.
So you go have lunch, and then what do y'all do?
We usually go to the public library across the street, or sometimes we go to the media center.
If you had to think of something that Mr. Morris had taught you, anything, how to catch a frog to math, anything, what would you think?
I would think that he is probably the best lunch buddy I know.
Oh,
Has he shared anything with you that you remember? Anything he taught you, or any place you've gone together? Anything you've done?
We went across the street to the public library. We went to the playground a couple times. We went to the media center.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of things do you guys talk about?
We talk about how we look at books, and he teaches me. He tells me about how they're using the army and all that.
Okay, so he shares things about the army. Do you remember how, when you first started working with Mr. Morris, how you maybe thought or acted, and do you think that over time, how would you say your academics, your grades and things?
When Mr. Morris was first my lunch buddy, I thought I didn't want one at first, but then a few times after he lunch with me, I started liking him more and more and more, and I've improved my grades more than I've usually more.
And how about your behavior? Have you had to visit me much lately?
No.
No, not in, gosh, a couple years, right?
very good. Excellent. Well, is there anything else that either one of y'all want to say to the people who are watching this about Mr. Morris and maybe him winning the Davidson County Mentor of the Year?
He's helped me pay overdue books at the public library,
That's nice.
and we have and when he first started helping me, I had to write something about a book I read, and he helped me with that.
So he's just a nice man, isn't he?
Mhm.
Well, I think that's wonderful. And I want to thank you for being in our program. And I want to thank Darren, who's not here, and thank you for
You're very
supporting
welcome.
our program because it works.
Well, it does, and I just have the one other thing I would just like to say about Mr. Morris is, he is an elected official in our town, and the fact that he's willing to come in and be in our school and volunteer with us and work with us, he's one of the driving forces of the fact that when we started our backpack program, he invited us to speak at the town council meeting, and has been a big part of the town of Denton as an entity, as an organization, contributing to that each year. And we really couldn't have had the positive effect in our community without his involvement. So
It's wonderful. Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Okay.
This is Martha Manis. She is the site coordinator for Davidson County High School Teen Parent Program, and she has nominated Mandy Lawrence. Martha, how long has Mandy been a mentor for your program?
This is her 3rd year working with the Teen Parent Program.
And what did she do to inspire you to want to nominate her?
Well, I have a lot of things to say about
That's
Mandy
good.
Lawrence. Mandy is a very positive and just upbeat person. Another thing I find she's a very interesting person, and this is also what I really enjoy about her, because she is a registered nurse, which I find in the Teen Parent Program to be very helpful. She's also writing a Christian novel for young people. She travels a lot. Her husband is a travel agent, but they do travel quite a bit. And so she goes a lot of different places, and this has inspired her to really try to learn Spanish. And so as an adult, she is really diving in and really taking Spanish very seriously. She's taking classes. She's tried to do some interpretation services for some county offices. So, you know, she's a really interesting person. She's not a mother herself, but I really appreciate the fact that she loves young people and she really wants to make a difference and an impact in her community. So she just volunteers. And the Teen Parent Program is a real challenge because, first of all, it's not a one-on-one assignment. When you sign up to work with the Teen Parent Program, you're getting like 12 to 14 girls per semester. So in a year, she's going to work with like 25, 26 different girls. And her commitment to coming every week is just, you know, that's remarkable. She's very consistent. There's not many times that she has missed. So she definitely comes, and she has to really make an effort to get to know people. And I appreciate how much she has reached out to my Spanish-speaking students, because she really wants to practice her Spanish, and she'll talk to them the whole time. You know, they just love it that somebody's making the effort to try to talk to them. Of course, since she is a nurse, she's also real practical with answering my students' medical questions. Sometimes young mothers find when they go to their doctor's office, they're kind of hurried out the door. There's not a lot of time to talk to them. So it's wonderful to have a nurse that comes every week. Now, we have a school nurse that also comes, but this is a mentor that is very informal, and they can ask her just anything. And because she's so young, you know, I think they feel really comfortable talking to her. And so she will answer things like that. The other thing that she does that I really appreciate, and actually all my mentors do this, since I have juniors and seniors in my class, they all have to have graduation project mentors. And if their topic is anything related to family, child development, or health, as a nurse, she's a great project mentor for that. And so she has mentored quite a few students over the last 3 years for graduation project. And it's hard to find mentors to do that as seniors. That's tough. And yet graduation project is a requirement for graduation. So we have to have project mentors. Right now she is helping one of my former students. Mandy just goes above and beyond. She's even made the effort. We have Holly Grove Lutheran Church, which has adopted our Teen Parent Program. And Mandy, that's not a part of what she does. She comes to me through communities and schools. Okay? So when the church has a baby shower for the whole class, Mandy makes the effort to show up. She just comes. And if any of the girls' parents or families cannot come, and every semester that happens, there's somebody that nobody from home could come with them, Mandy sits with them like that's her family. And she does pictures and everything, you know, with the girl. So when the girl has pictures to go in her baby book somewhere down the road, Mandy was there as part of her family. And I appreciate that, because she doesn't have to do stuff like that. One of the questions on the form for students is, you know, if you have one word to describe your mentor, what would it be? And that's really kind of hard to narrow down, because I see her as very energetic and really caring and committed. The students see her as really happy and kind and helpful. That's the kind of things they say about her. So I'm really glad that she is choosing to participate. So she's been great. She's been absolutely great.
I don't have anything to add. That was wonderful.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
Thank you, Mandy. And thank you, communities and schools, because you put us together.
And thank you for all you do for us, because I know you do it in addition to everything else, and we appreciate it. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so this is Robin Michaels. She's our site coordinator for Pilot Elementary School, and she's nominated Catherine Shank, and her lunch buddy's name is Alyssa. Did I say that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And the first question I have is, how long have Catherine and Alyssa been together?
This year, right?
Yeah.
She just got you this year as your
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
just
She
one
did.
year, right?
Okay. And what qualities did Catherine have that made you want to nominate her?
She's long suffering and kind. She's patient. She comes every time, so every time Alyssa has some problems, she can make sure that she talks to her. She used to be an elementary school counselor, so she has all those qualities that counselors have.
And when she's not here, she makes sure to text Miss Wheeler. Most of the time it's because she's got meetings.
Right, because she works at the community college, so she always is very responsible about coming, and if she can't come, she lets you know that, doesn't she? So you're not left out in the cold.
All right, Alyssa, this is for you. What is something, if you wanted to say a reason that you really, really like her, what's a reason that you really, really like her?
Well, she's really, really nice, and most of the time, like, if I don't have any work done, we go, like, back there, in, I think, the, family resource room, and we play this one game where, it's, like, different letters. It's got, like, different letters on one, and we usually pick a different game every time. And sometimes I have work to do, and sometimes I don't.
What
Does she
grade are
talk
you
to
in?
you about
Fifth.
how to get along with others and all that sort of stuff if you're having trouble?
Yeah, and all the questions that we had to do, we finished them. It didn't take us long to do those.
Okay.
All right. How do you feel when you see Miss Catherine standing at your door? Do you know she's coming, or
Yeah, every Thursday I'm like, yeah, Miss Catherine, Miss Catherine, Miss Catherine.
She is.
And then whenever I'm in the lunchroom, I'm like, where is she at? I look through the window, even if I'm like back here where the milk is, I keep looking out the window. And she has a blue car, so whenever I see the blue car, I know she's there.
no? If you wanted to say something to the group of people that are, either one of you, that are watching this, trying to make the decision, is there anything else you want to say about her? You can say anything that you want to say.
Well, she's responsible about, like, when she's coming, because she had to come on Thursdays now because she always has meetings on Tuesdays. And she's always has, like, she'll tell us if she's not there, and if she's coming, she'll make sure, like, if she's a little late, then she'll tell us, but most of the time she's always on time.
And she makes you feel, I mean, you're glad you're in the program. It
Yeah,
helps you.
because she makes me really happy.
She does make you happy, and she gets very excited. Miss Catherine's coming today, Miss Catherine. She does get excited, doesn't she? You get
Yeah.
excited, don't you? She has all those characteristics that you want in a mentor. I mean, because she's already been in education, she knows what the kids need, and she knows how to help Alyssa, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, some of those social skills and things like that, and processing some of the stuff that she did and she didn't do, and those sorts of things she knows how to do. So she has those kind of skills in addition to just being a good person her own self, you know. But she has professional skills in addition to people's, you know, that kind of thing. She has both those, you know,
And a big heart too.
to be both of them.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, we're glad. Are you glad you did it this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're glad that we got her matched up this year,
Yep.
and it's been a very good
I'm
experience.
really happy that I have her.
Yeah, she's a good role model and a good person for her to be with. Right.
Well, thank you for being in our program, okay, and for doing the interview, and thank you for taking on this extra job and doing what you do for us, because we don't say it enough. We
Right.
appreciate
You're
everything you
welcome.
do.
You always help us too.
Well,
Very good.
anything else?
We just hope Miss Catherine gets it because we really like her. Don't we?
All right. Okay, this is Christy Batu. She's our site coordinator for Silver Valley Elementary, and she's nominated Joe York, and her lunch buddies are Jesse and Haven. Jesse and Haven. And we're just going to talk about, what do y'all call her? You call her Miss York or Joe or?
I call Miss Joe.
Miss
Miss
Joe.
Joe.
We call her Miss Joe.
Okay. Christy, how long have Miss Joe and Jesse and Haven been together?
Well, Miss Joe and Haven have been together. Haven is now in the 3rd grade. And was she your lunch buddy in kindergarten
She was
or in 1st grade?
first.
I think Mrs. Joe started to be her lunch buddy in 1st grade. And then for her 2nd grade year, Haven moved away to Randolph County for a little while. And we were sad. And so during 2nd grade, when Jessie was in the 1st grade, Mrs. Joe had Jessie for a lunch buddy that year. Well, this year, Haven came back to us, and we were so happy, and she said, I want Miss Joe to be my lunch buddy again. And so I went to Miss Joe, and I said, oh, how do you feel about having 2 lunch buddies? And she said, well, I just can't give up Jessie. And she thought about it, and she said, I'm going to try having 2. So she's been with Haven since 1st grade, and with Jesse also since his 1st grade year, which was last year.
So Jesse's in the 2nd grade and Haven's in the 3rd.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what did Miss Joe do that made you want to nominate her?
She is just one of the most caring people I have ever met. You know, she's been through a lot in her life. She comes, you know, like I say, she was jumped into having 2 lunch buddies, which is time consuming, but she comes and spends a lot of time with both of these children, reading with them and working on with them and asking about their behavior and eating lunch with them, and just really pours herself into it.
She does. What kind of presents does she bring you?
Barbies.
Barbies.
Whenever it was Halloween, she brought me a Superman suit.
She had promised Jesse that she was going to bring him a Halloween costume, and she came through.
And you were Superman. How cool is that? Well, when Miss Joe comes to eat lunch with you, Jesse, does she come to your door or does she meet you in the cafeteria?
Let's be in the cafeteria.
And what do you think when you see her standing there? How do you feel?
Excited.
Are you? What about you, Haven, when you see her? Happy? And you talked about what she brings you, and Miss Fatu said that you read together. What else do you do when after you have lunch? You do first, Jesse. What else do y'all do?
We play on the computers. We go to read
And where does she take you to read?
in the library.
And if you had to think of one thing that Miss Joe has taught you, can you think of something that she's taught you?
To be good.
To be good. That's an excellent answer. Yes, it is.
She is really working with Jesse, and he's doing a lot better with his behavior. That's what we're really working on.
And Haven, what about you? When Miss Joe comes, what do y'all do?
We go to computers and the library, and sometimes we come down here with Paisley's lunch buddy, and we read magazines.
And what do you
I never
think?
come to teacher.
What do you think that she's taught you?
How to read better.
How to read better. That's also an excellent answer. Is there anything that y'all would like to say to the people that are watching this?
Why do you think she should win Mentor of the Year for the whole county, Haven?
Because she's the best lunch buddy in the whole wide world.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
What about you, Jesse?
She makes people learn good stuff.
And I'll say that both of these children have really grown since they've been paired up with Miss Joe. I remember Haven in kindergarten. She was a shy little girl, didn't hardly talk, and she has just really blossomed. And I remember Jesse in kindergarten, and he spent a lot of time in the principal's office, didn't you, Jesse? But he has really
Thanks.
grown, and we've worked hard on that, and Miss Jo has definitely been a big part of that. So we love Miss Jo.
Well,
She's fabulous.
That's awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. And I want to thank both of y'all for being in our program, okay? And thank you,
Thank
because we
you.
could not do what we do without your help.
Yeah,
And I know it's a lot of burden. And
pleasure.
we appreciate it so
My
much.
pleasure. My pleasure.
All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, so this is Kevin Firquin. He is the site coordinator for South Davidson Middle and High Schools. He has nominated Dean Gadwall. And the two of his lunch buddies that are here today are Carlos on the left and Dominic on the right. And he has several more, does he not?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so he does. He has quite a few.
He has a total of 6.
How long have they been together? Or y'all can answer too.
Oh, Donnie.
Well, this is my first year with him. We've been together since the beginning of this year. So, I mean, it's just been pretty cool. It's been a little while, but you know, it's not been like years or anything. It's just my first year with him.
But he's made an impression, obviously.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. Awesome, man. He helps me with everything I need help on. Yeah, just anything. He talks to me about anything I need to talk to him about. He's there, and you know, he's willing. He's willing to help you and talk to you, and you know, give you good advice and stuff like that. So he's a very good person.
Good. So is that why you decided you wanted to nominate him? What kind of qualities does he have that?
Well, he's got a lot of experiences. His wife also mentors, and they both come in on Tuesdays and spend quite a bit of time with us. But they both have traveled. They've been truck drivers. His wife's from Canada originally, and so they bring in a little bit different worldly experience. But they've settled here in Denton, and they work real well with a group of children. I mean, and young men and young adults, young women, because they've been out in the world and they've done well, and they've also had some struggles. And so they can relate to a lot of things that the children are going on with.
Is there anything you want to say, Carlos, about?
Well, he has helped me since this year and gave me good advice. And I also want to thank him for all this good advice he gave me.
That's good. The day you know that he's coming, y'all aren't little, but how do y'all feel when you know he's coming? How does it make you feel?
Well, I feel kind of pretty excited actually, because you know, like I said, I can talk to him about anything, and you know, I'm a very religious person, so we talk a lot about religion too. You know, have a lot of fun with it. You know, he relates. You know, we can relate to each other on a lot of different, you know, things in our life, I guess you could say. And
Life lessons.
Yeah, life lessons. There you go. That's a good one. And I look forward to coming in here because you know, it's fun. I have somebody to talk to, and they understand, and they help me, and sometimes I can help them. You know, I can help him, but you know, he gives me really good advice a lot of times, and tells me a lot of good stuff that I can do for myself, make it in school and stuff like that.
Can you think of one thing that he's told you that is shareable, that you can share?
Well, he tells me all the time to be confident in myself, you know, so I can do good in school. I can make it, you know, make the AB honor roll I want to make, or straight A, you know. And he's like, you know, he says, be confident in yourself and believe that you can do it. And I do, and I'm doing pretty good.
You're gonna make it.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it.
Yeah, we'll make it.
Yeah. I want to know when you make it. I want
All
Mr. Farquhar to let me know. That's
All right.
awesome.
All right.
Very good.
And Carlos does very well in school too. He's on our AB honor.
Very
Dominic,
good.
you missed it just barely.
Yeah, just barely.
So Carlos, what if there's something that you can share that Dean has helped you with? Can you think of something some kind of advice that he's given you that's really helped you?
Well, I mean, I used to play in my class a whole lot, used to talk a whole lot, but now he used to always tell me that, are you doing good if I'm talking to class? And he helped me a whole lot, and same as him. He told me to be confident in myself and do the hardest I can and make sure that I always check over my work.
Very good.
Well, he's a very good guy. Dean is a very, very good guy. And he will help anybody with any of their situations or problems they're going through. And, you know, he's going to tell them, you know, he's going to be right there with them. Be confident, you know, stay smart, you know, like think it's smart. And don't, you know, just, he's going to say something good to you. And I really thank him a lot for what he does for me and what what he has done for me as well, you know. And he's a really good guy. He's a really good guy.
That's great. Thank you. Dave?
Anything else?
All right. Well, thank you for being on our program, both of you. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Farkland, for all you do. Appreciate everything. Okay. We have a little addendum we needed to add.
Only thing I would like to add is that Dean has a wonderful ability that he listens. He's not in a hurry to give an answer or to tell you what to do. He listens to his mentees, and they've developed a good relationship. So if anything, you know, he gives the good advice, but he's also not in a hurry to say, I already know what you're going to say. He's developed that relationship.
Okay. Thank you. That this is Margaret Surratt. She's our site coordinator at Southmont Elementary, and she's nominated Billy Pearson, and his lunch buddy is Casey Campbell. And the first question I have for Ms. Surratt is, how long have Billy and Casey been together?
Casey is in 3rd grade right now, and Billy started working with Casey at the beginning of 2nd grade.
Okay, all right, good. And what did he do that made you feel inspired, or what happened that just made you know that he was the person you wanted to nominate this year?
Billy has been with us for 4 years. He had a lunch buddy who is no longer at this school and transferred to another school, and Billy followed him to the other school. But in addition, he still wanted to work with a student here at Southmont. He is so consistent and always there for the students, and he just has a wonderful way with all kids, but especially with Casey. Just brings out the best in him.
Awesome. All right, Casey, tell me, if you could use one word to describe Billy, what would it be? If you could say something about Billy, your lunch buddy, what would it be?
I have fun stuff.
How do you feel when he comes to see you? Do you know when he's coming?
What day does he come?
Fridays.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
It's my favorite day of the week.
And what do you think when you see him standing at your classroom door or wherever?
Cafeteria.
At the cafeteria. What do you think when you see him? How do you feel?
Happy.
What's your face look like? No, he's kind of shy, but he's got a big smile on his face. He does.
I bet you do. Okay. So you feel real happy. Is there anything that you want to tell the people that are watching this about him? Does he help you? How do you think he helps you? Can you think of something he does to help you? Besides making you smile? Do you talk about homework or home, or do you talk about just anything that you want to talk about? Sometimes. And you have lunch? Y'all have lunch together?
And then what do you like to do?
After I eat lunch, he goes to the computer lab,
And what do you do there?
play games until it's time to go back. Until I have to go back to class.
That sounds good. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to say?
Well, we've just noticed since Billy has been working with Casey that at the beginning of 2nd grade, Casey's behavior was not real good and his grades weren't too good. But this year in 3rd grade, Do you know what you got on your report card for your conduct? It was up from needs improvement to satisfactory, and his grades are much better right now, too.
Excellent.
So he's having a very successful third grade year, and we're proud of you, aren't we?
You should be proud of yourself. Third grade's a big year.
And my dad said when I had my grades down, he said if I got my grades up, he'll give me a prize.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
And Billy's always asking about how is he doing and checks in with the teacher each time he comes and visits.
Good.
And last year, he gave me like a Christmas present.
He did.
What was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was like it was called a toy truck and called a police car.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, it was. Okay, well, I want to say thank you to you for coming out of class and for doing this for me, okay? And I want to say thank you to you for being our site
Certainly.
coordinator.
Well, thanks for coming today. I'm glad you got an opportunity to meet Casey because he's a good kid.
Yes, he is. We couldn't do what we do without you. Okay, this is Erin Kilcullen, our site coordinator for Southwood Elementary, and she has nominated Eddie Kearns, and his lunch buddy is Tristan. And first question is, how long have Eddie and Tristan been together?
Tristan and Eddie have been together for this is their 6th year. Started when Tristan was in 1st grade. And Tristan was here that year. You correct me if I'm wrong. Then he transferred to Pickett
Elementary.
for 1 year in the city schools, and Eddie went with him and stayed as lunch buddy. And then he and his sister transferred back here to Southwood, and Eddie came back.
And what did Eddie do, or what does he consistently do that made you immediately think of him when you wanted to nominate
Well,
somebody?
when I first thought of it, I knew Eddie was the person this year. Because he's had a relationship with Tristan for so long, he comes every week religiously, and they spend time together. I always see Eddie coming in with some activity, some game to do. I don't always see what they've done, but I know they've done something. I either see him coming or going, and he always seems happy to be here. He doesn't miss a time with Tristan.
Never.
Nope, he doesn't.
And when he comes, does he meet you in the cafeteria or at your classroom?
Cafeteria.
And what do you think when you see him standing there waiting on you?
I'm like, awesome. I know he's here. And that's just really all I had to say. He's really awesome though.
When Ms. Kilcullen said that y'all do activities and stuff, besides lunch, what do y'all do?
He helps me with my homework, things in class, and sometimes for if I have everything done, we go in the gym and play.
If you could think of one thing that you feel like he's taught you in all these years that you've been together, or it doesn't have to be one thing, it can be as many as you want to, what's something that you could say he's really taught you? It doesn't have to be a subject in school. It can be anything.
To respect people and respect people how they feel.
Good answer. Is there anything else you want to say to the people that are watching this? Because we're trying to get Mr. Kearns to win for the whole county, not just for Southwood. So is there anything else you want to say?
He's a really great person. He has an awesome personality, and for the most part, he's just a really generous person.
Good answer.
If I can add something,
You can.
I think Tristan may have forgotten to say this at this time, but he has shared with me that Eddie will spend time with Tristan outside of school.
Mm-hmm.
He'll take it. Will you tell? What does he take you to?
He
What does
takes
do?
me to basketball games, football games, baseball games, and most of the time we go out to eat before we go to the games, and he really gets me anything that I want.
he's an awesome person.
Does
to
he
do
ever
that.
come to any of your events?
Yes, he does. When I was playing football, he came to every single one of my games.
Oh, so he sounds like a lifelong friend.
Yes, he is.
Yay. You think he'll go to the middle school with you?
Yes.
Well, that's good. We have a site coordinator there, and we'll get y'all moved over, and that's awesome. I'm glad.
And when I told Tristan that we were thinking of Eddie to be the mentor of the year, he lit up like a Christmas tree and said, yes, that would be awesome. He is awesome. So
That
I know
sounds
their
awesome.
relationship goes deep.
Well, that's a long time. 6 years is a long time. Well, I think that's wonderful. Thank you for being in our program and for doing this. And thank you for all you do for us, because I cannot express enough how
Well,
much
you're
we
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you for what you guys do too.
Well,
This mentor program is awesome. I wish we had more. We need more.
I know, and we're going to use some of this kind of stuff to try to help recruit people.
Awesome.
So, because Tristan's face lit up when he talked about Eddie, and that's what we're going to use. So, thank you again for both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So this is Tommy Henley. He is the site coordinator for Welcome Elementary, and he's nominated Margaret Jackson. And Margaret has several lunch buddies. The one with us is Seth, and Chandler and Devin were not able to be here today. Seth, do you even remember how long you've been with Margaret? How many years?
2.
Since 3rd grade?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. And what inspired you? What did Margaret do that made you want to nominate her again?
Well, this is my first year here,
Right.
so I met Margaret for the first time this year. But the two things over the course of the year that really stick out, I definitely feel a sense that she really cares for these kids, and she really wants to see them do well and succeed and be the best they can. The other thing is, I really love her energy, and I don't think anybody who, even if they know her a little bit, is going to say that she's not full of energy. So
She is definitely.
So those are the two big things.
Okay, that's good. Does she meet you in the cafeteria when she's coming, or does she come to your
Yeah,
class?
she meets me in the cafeteria.
Okay, what do you think when you see her standing there in all her silly self?
I get excited when I see her. It's fun. It's just funny when she talks. She makes jokes.
She is funny. What do y'all do after you eat lunch, or do you just eat lunch?
Sometimes we go outside and play.
But she kind of plays with you guys, right? I mean, she's involved with you.
She's something else. I know that. So, what do you think? If you could say one thing that you think she's taught you,
How to focus.
okay. Anything else you want to say about it?
I just wish her all the best. I mean, even if I'm assuming she'll be here several more years, So unless we keep, kids she can be a lunch buddy with, but she's definitely been a privilege to know, and I mean, I enjoy seeing her around, and seems like a good friend to a lot of people.
She is. And thank you for being on our program, and thank you for doing this, because I know it's not very much fun. And thank you for all you do, because I can't thank you enough for all you do for us as a program.
Thanks.
That's all.
Okay.